later.
What's up guys, how y'all doing? Cosmic Carry here, bringing another World of Tanks video. Today going to be discussing base capping, when to cap the base, proper base capping etiquette, etc, etc. As far as I'm concerned, you know, my own personal opinion. These are my own personal opinions and views. They're shared by a lot of people out there, but just as many people seem to disagree for some reason. I haven't got a clue why. And because I'm always right about everything, but you know, and this is just my thoughts, my views on proper base capping etiquette, how I do it, and you know, when to do it, when not to do it. A lot of controversy about this, especially on the forums. If you go on the forums, I actually posted, you know, I did a post on this, you know, why is it allowed, etc, etc. But you know, when you roll into the battle, first thing you see is a message from Wargaming saying, you know, eliminate standard battle, eliminate all enemies, or cap the base. So it's a legitimate way of winning a game. But just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it, you know, because there's a right time and a wrong time to cap the base. You know, you shouldn't be capping the base just because you're bored, just because you want to move on to the next game, and just because you're blah, just because you're bottom tier, you know, all of these things, just lame reasons. You know, lame reasons are not a legitimate reason to cap a base. You know, you should be capping the base if it needs to be capped, and everything else, you know, if you're capping for any other reason, you're 100% a douchebag, in my personal opinion. You know, and plenty of people out there say it's just a video game, man, it's just a video. You know, so some people, for lack of a better word or lack of a better term, some people take this crap seriously. You know, not seriously, but you know, I've you know, I'm not taking it hyper seriously, but there's a right way of and a wrong way of doing things in everything that you do in life, 100%. And nah, you know, but anyhow, let's move on. This is my guide, and this is a very typical game that I played at Westfield, where I you know, was presented with the option to cap the base. So we are on Westfield in my T10, okay, and brand new Soviet tier 9 heavy tank. I'm loving this thing, by the way, and this happens to all of us on Westfield. You lose out due to base cappers. You've got a huge advantage. You're leading by 5 to 6 tanks, but you've overextended. You've overreached. You've forgotten about your base. You didn't check your mini map, and this has happened to me millions of times as well. And two little sneaky mediums on, you know, 3/4 health, on quarter health. They manage to limp their way into your base, and they win through base capping. And this is a 100% legitimate way of winning. You know, you're faced with superior numbers, but you have an option of winning the game for your team, even though there's only 2 of you left, and you're only on 100 hit points each, and there's 6-7 enemies left. How are you going to win the game? You have this option of winning the game through base cap, so you go ahead and win the game through capping the base. And this is 100% a legitimate way of winning the game. And when it happens to me personally, like on Westfield, it happens, you know, it's happened quite a few times. It's my opinion that, you know, you simply got outplayed. 100%. You simply got outplayed. You did not keep an eye on the minimap. You didn't have full situational awareness. Most probably it was because you were in a tier 10 tank and you were pounding away at a tier 8 tanks, you know, up on the hills, thinking, whoa, look at me, I'm amazing, I'm a god. Pardon me. And two little sneaky mediums cap your base, and they win, you know, and make you look like a fool. 100%. You got outplayed. You know, that's legit. That's 100% legit in my personal opinion. But this is kind of sort of similar, I guess. This is you know, it's a raging battle. It's ongoing. We're leading by 8 to 6, which is not a fantastic lead. You know, we've all seen games like this kind of flip on their head, you know, 2 minutes later. but they do start capping the base. They have one tank on our base, and he is capping. He's just started to cap, and I'm close to the enemy red's base. And what do? I start capping, you know. And the reason why I'm doing this is it's a plan B for my team. You know, it's a backup plan. It's a just in case plan. I have no interest in winning, achieving a victory, winning the game through a base cap. It's just a backup plan for my team, just in case. You know, I feel obligated that it's my duty to do this. I have the option of counter capping. I have the option of this, you know, backup plan for my team. So I feel obligated. I feel it's my duty to jump on the Reds base and start capping myself, and that's exactly what I do. I pull in, I stop my tank, I park it, and I bring up the minimap. Before that I do kind of lift up my timers, you know, to the sky, so I've got a clear visual on what's going on. You know, I can see those timers, and right now, you know, they're leading by 20 seconds, which is no big deal, etc, etc. And I bring up the minimap. You can see with 10-12 into the game, and there is one enemy red capping at the moment, and he's mostly behind that building that you all know well. And there's also other enemy reds on their way, so that it's kind of precarious. You know, it's a little bit dodgy, a little bit iffy, but I have faith, I have confidence in my team. You can see there's two mediums up on the hill just above our base. I have faith that you know, they're going to attempt to get shots on target, reset the cap timer, or you know, and or if not, they're going to have to roll in there and you know, duke it out and just do everything they can basically to reset that timer 100%. So I'm sitting here, this is what I need to be doing 100%. This is what I need to be doing, and they do reset the cap. As you can see, kind of flashed on and off. And what happens, a fellow teammate jumps into the cap circle with me, you know, and that automatically kind of brings it down to just over 30 seconds 100%. So right now, you know, I don't need to be here, and it gets reset a second time. So obviously, you know, there's a raging battle going on at our base, and they're getting shots on target. So I'm gonna get off the base. I'm not gonna cap anymore, you know, because I don't need to be on there, you know. And the gentleman that just joined me, he can take over with plan B. He can take over with the backup plan. And Soviet accuracy, yeah. Soviet accuracy, fantastic. But at the same time, you know, the timers again are neck and neck, and I'm out here in the open with this tier 9 woofie who's just penned me. And so I decide, okay, get back on the timer, you know, get back on the timer. This is me making the most of the situation that I'm in. Get back on the timer and reinitiate it, kind of thing. And at the same time hide from the woofie. And again, it brings it down to 30 seconds. So right now, debating what to do. I've parked myself right by the border, you know, so I'm going to get off. I'm debating whether or not to stay. We're leading 10-9, so right now it's neck and neck. Debating what to do, trying to figure it out, etc, etc. And it gets reset. And just as I'm about to jump off, you know, the woofie comes. He shoots my teammate, and I get the kill. Did I get the kill? Yes, I got the kill. And a third teammate comes along, and he starts capping. But it's all good. We don't need to be on capping the base, you know. And he jumps off as well. And this is the proper way to cap the base. There's only 2 reds left, you know. There's only 2 reds. They've been annihilated. Why bother? What's the point? Etc, etc. You might as well go out there 100%. You're here to play a game. It's World of Tanks. You might as well go out there, hunt tanks, shoot them, get XP, brawl, etc., etc. And as I do jump off, straight away I'm presented with a Leopard PTA. You know, nice, juicy, soft target. You know, this is my reward, you know, for not capping. You know, how much XP do I get for penning a Leopard PTA and getting the kill on this Leopard PTA versus capping that base? You know, that base could be capped right now. This victory should be done and dusted and, you know, over and done with. But no, 100% not interested. Why would I be? You know, so nice win there. Proper base capping etiquette. When when to cap, when not to cap, when should you jump off, when shouldn't you, etc., etc. And like I said, this is my personal opinion, my personal views. You know, how I approach the subject. You know, when I'm in game. Pardon me. And I know there's lots of you out there that kind of completely disagree, but I'm not going to say anything rude. But there's a time and a place. There's a right and a wrong way of doing things, you know. And this is, you know, how I approach base capping. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take it easy. Adios, muchachos.